here we are. We've made it to Friday. Oh, weekend ahead. Some folks have a 3-day weekend with President's Day on Monday. But today we're going to dig in because it is Friday. We still have work to do. It is Friday, so we'll talk about certifications. Today we're talking about the Certified Authorization Professional, or the CAP exam. It's one of the ISC squared exams. A lot of details to talk about, what the exam's about, how much it's going to cost you, how to keep it, what jobs you can get, all that stuff. If you're going to join us this morning for our Cup of Cyber, hope you do. A Cup of Cyber, our Illy coffee in a Salt Lake City mug. It is crazy. It's Valentine's Day today, Friday, February 14th. Valentine's Day. So if you have your significant other and you haven't had anything planned yet, you might want to get that together, get something going. Probably too late to get any reservations for dinner or anything like that. Maybe something you can make at home or take care of that person however you think you need to. If you don't have that significant other, know that it's also National Ferris Wheel Day, so maybe you got that, stick that in your pocket for something to talk about today. So we are talking about the Certified Authorization Professional exam from ISC squared. This exam has been around for a while. It's changed names at least once when NIST changed the name of the certification and accreditation process to the RMF. They had the CAP was called the Certification and Accreditation Professional. They kept the acronym the same, CAP, and they changed it over to the Certified Authorization Professional to reflect, what we got to have for the RMF. So the exam itself, 125 multiple choice questions, or as I like to say, multiple guess questions. Jump in there. A, B, C, D, E, A, B, C, D, no E. You can 25% just by guessing. Like other CAP or other ISC squared exams, there's practice questions in there as well that won't count against you, but you don't know what they are. Time limit, there's 3 hours to take the exam. Plenty of time to get through these if you study and prepare for the certification exam. Passing score, 700 out of 1,000 points, or essentially a 70%. And the exam fee, like all of these ISC squared, even CompTIA, even CompTIA is getting a little expensive on theirs, but ISC squared, ISACA, they're all going to cost you a bit of money to get into the security field. So the exam fee for this one, $599 to take the exam. It's a lot of money in certification. So there's a lot of money in the cyber field, the security field, but there's a lot of money for maintenance as well. So you have to get certified, you have to get educated, you have to get trained, get that experience built up. These certifications they're going to cost you a little bit of money, just because that's how they're set up. To take the exam to become a CAP, certified professional, you have to have 2 years experience in one or more of the domains, and this experience has to be paid experience. So you have to have paid experience in one or more of the domains for at least a cumulative 2 years. Once you get the certification, when you get it, pass it, then you have to do your maintenance, right? So you have to do 60 continuing professional education credits a year, which means you have to read books, you have to go to more training, you have to do stuff to enhance your security experience and help the field itself. The certification itself is on a 3-year cycle, so every year you have to get those 60 CPEs. 3 years you have to have the 60 CPEs, and then at the end of 3 years they'll evaluate everything. And then if you've been keeping up, you've been following the professional ethics, you've been doing your CPEs, then you'll get issued the certification for another 3 years. There is a $125 annual maintenance fee. So on top of the certification fee, every year you're going to have to pay $125. They have changed it, they being ISC squared. It used to be you pay for every certification you have with ISC squared. So if you have the CAP and then you have something like CISSP and ISSEP, and also we'll talk about those later, then you pay a fee for each of them. But apparently now, checking their website, you pay one fee, covers all your certifications, which is good because you could get a number of certifications from ISC squared, and then it used to be $85 for CISSP and then $85 for CAP and $85. Now it's just $125 flat fee, one or more. Apparently, that's the first time I've seen that, so it's a little bit new. According to Cert Magazine in 2018, the average salary for someone with a CAP certification is $121,510. Pretty exact, and 95 cents maybe. I don't know. That's it. It's gonna open doors, and as you see later, when we look at 8570 for the DoD and the government, there are positions that require you to have something like the CAP exam. The CAP fills some of those requirements. So, what is the certification all about? What do you have to know? What are the domains that you have to know for the CAP? So, you're going to see, we're going to circle back. If you guys have followed along with any of the RMF training, you're going to see exactly how this thing lines out. But domain 1, information security risk management program. How do you manage your risk management? How do you manage the security program? That's our first domain out of the gate. That's one you need to know. Domain 2, categorization of information system, or an IS. How do we categorize a system? Domain 3, selection of security controls. We're going to go a little bit quick through this because I'm going to show you something here in a minute. Domain 4, implementation of security controls. 5, assessment of security controls. 6, authorization of an information system. And finally, 7, and the last domain, continuous monitoring. 7 domains you have to know. 7 that you'll have to kind of be the master of. But if you look, this is what the RMF looks like. Prepare in the middle there, that supports all of the others. That's kind of like your domain 1. And then around the outside, categorize the system, select the controls, implement the controls, assess the controls, authorize the system, and monitor the controls. There is your CAP exam. So if you know the RMF, if you're good at the RMF, you know it, you know the supporting documents, you know the roles and authorizations, you know the tasks within each of these steps, then you're good. I'll throw a card up above. I was do that wrong way. Up above, actually be over there, to a link to each of these steps, a little more detail on each of the steps that we've talked about in our Cup of Cyber over the last few weeks. At this point, the point of this recording, we've covered all but the monitoring of the controls. And also throw a card right, dang, every time, over there. Just gotta think backwards. Over there, that will show you some of the RMF tasks that have already been put out that you can check out. So a lot of the stuff, we've already thrown a lot of the training out online, and we're going to, over the next few weeks, we're going to be refreshing all of the current RMF videos with RMF 2.0 videos, which is the new version of the RMF. So the CAP exam tests you on your ability to implement the RMF. That's really what it does. If you look at 8570, this is the DoD requirement for certain positions within the DoD. And if you look, IAM Level 1 and IAM Level 2 both have the CAP as a certification that meets that requirement. So if you're an IAM, and that's Information Assurance Management, Level 1 or Level 2, one of those jobs, CAP is going to check that block. You're going to have a certification that's required in that job. You don't have to get all of them. So you see, like IAM Level 1 is a CAP, or the GSLC, or the Security Plus with continuing education. That's any of those work for Level 1. So CAP will work for your Level 1 IAM or your Level 2 IAM requirement. You don't have to get all those. You can just one of them. So CAP works for that, right? So if you're on a place where you're around the DoD, then you can look for things like ISO, Information System Security Officer. Normally that's a Level 1 or Level 2. They can be Level 3 depending on the system they're supporting, but generally Level 1 or Level 2. Again, a lot of the other government is going to adopt what the DoD is doing, and I've seen it in a number of places that the certifications that are on this list are kind of certifications they require for like jobs in other government agencies, right? If we look at this thing over time, this is what I think. This is my opinion of what certifications you need at different positions. And obviously it's going to vary by person. It's going to vary by the job you're going after. There's a lot of variables, but this is just, a point in time, a line in the sand. This is kind of what, if I was hiring somebody, this is kind of where I would put them. And obviously your experience, your personality, your education, it's all going to impact this. But, I would think, starting with A+, and actually I would start with IT Fundamentals Plus, which is below that, but for some reason on the graphic it just didn't make it, so we'll have to redo the graphic. A+ first, I maybe even throw a Network Plus in there, and then Security Plus, then the CAP exam, then CISSP, or the Certified Information System Security Professional. It's another ISC squared exam. It's a tough one. And then there's specializations of CISSP. ISSEP, the Engineering Professional, so the Information System Security Engineering Professional, and then the Information System Security Architecture Professional. As you can see from the bottom to the top there, Help Desk Analyst, good place to get in. If you're already in the field, that's a nice place to start. Help Desk is where a lot of people in IT start, and then go off into different directions. So it doesn't mean you have to start there. So I would always say, if you can get a job like an ISO or Information System Security Officer right out the gate, do that. I think that's one of the most beneficial jobs in security. You're going to learn a ton. So next is ISO, then Security Analyst or Security Consultant. That's about where I see the CAP. So if you've done A+, Security Plus CAP, you're probably well set for Security Analyst and Consultant. Obviously, CISSP to ISSEP is where you're going to be your security engineering jobs. I would say you can probably get into engineering before you get your EP, but it's definitely not going to hurt. And then architect would be ISSAP, or Architecture Professional. So that's where I see the world. Your mileage may vary. There's a ton of other jobs that fall on the right side of that arrow, but that's where I kind of see the bulk of things. If I was hiring somebody, that's what I'd look for. So we did make it to Friday. And yes, it's nice. So I hope you are planning something good for this weekend. Hope you do get a long weekend. You deserve it. Spend some time learning cyber. Like I say, we always need more people in the field. Not enough people in cyber. Not enough good people in cyber. You want to learn the field. You want to get smart on security. Tons of videos out there. We'd love you to watch the videos on our channel. That's why we're doing them. Hopefully we're adding value. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Adding value to the field. And if you do like it, like the video, hit that thumbs up to be notified or hit that bell, I guess. Hit the bell to be notified. I can tell it's Friday. Be notified when new content comes out. Subscribe to the channel. We would really appreciate that if you do that. It's going to help us. And comment below. Let us know, what do you think about the CAP certification? What do you think about my career path? Does that make sense? Am I way off base? I could be. Maybe you think something different. Love to hear what you got to say. So comment below, like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that stuff. Enjoy your Valentine's Day or your Ferris wheel day, whichever one you want to partake in. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you. Even though it's Monday, is a holiday, I'll be here Monday talking about your cup of cyber. Be safe out there.